What is good, everybody? It's your boy Casper, back with another video. I'm gonna be talking about a movie that's been on the watch list. It got introduced to me, heard about the plot, been sitting in the watch list, and I finally got it crossed off. So I'm talking about Enemy of the State. So let's get it. Enemy of the State is a 1998 movie. It's rated R and it's 2 hours and 12 minutes. It's starred by Will Smith, Gene Hackman, Jon Voight, Lisa Bonet, Regina King. A couple of surprisers for me is in the movie. Caan is in the movie. Jack Black, low-key, is in the movie too. So Jack Black is in the movie and Jamie Kennedy is in the movie. So those are like the main actors. The director of this movie is Tony Scott. What I didn't know about that, I've actually seen a couple of his banger movies, to be honest. He worked with Denzel and he directed Man on Fire with him, and I honestly love Man on Fire. The camera work and the transition and the editing scenes fit that movie on point. And knowing that he did this movie, I kind of got the sense of that style from Man on Fire with the editing and the cutscenes from his camera work. I'll say that the work and the direction and his placement for his camera was literally crispy. So crispy. I love the his placement. One thing about it that's a little nitpick for me is the fact that it was kind of shaky. The quick edits threw me off a little bit. I know they're trying to hit. The quick edits threw me off a little bit because I was trying to focus on basically focus on the action that was happening in that scene. Editing, try to make it dramatic, but it worked for Man on Fire. I'll say that. Man on Fire, those editing scenes, the way it was very quick and made Denzel look crispy on there with the transitions, that worked for that. But with this one, I would say my nitpick on that is just the editing. Camera work on point, so I'll give him props on that. His choices for his scenery shots as well, very good. Very glad to be on point with another Tony Scott movie. Very sleeping on his work, to be honest. He's worked on a lot of other couple movies as well. So the movie Enemy of the State is basically about Will Smith in the movie. He's a lawyer, deals with a lot of mafia type people. Basically an assassination slash killing of a politician in town. That politician he was trying to pass a law that the government can't really spy on you through cameras, phones, and stuff like that. So basically a Big Brother type thing. And there's like hitmans that basically kill the politician that didn't want that law to pass. The secret camera recording that killing, and those people didn't know that camera was there. So the guy who obtains the tape is Jason Lee. Surprisingly, he's the main character in Alvin and the Chipmunks, so seeing him in this movie was actually a shocker. He grabs the tape because he basically films animals, ducks, and nature stuff in that area where that assassination was happening, and he was just reviewing the tape to see if he got any dope shots. He reviewed the tape. He sees the assassination. He sees that it's politicians being on some corrupt mafia stuff. He has the tape. Now that NASA and FBI and all the top secret people know that he has the tape through satellite communication, and they're trying to track him down and get that tape. Jason Lee knows that he's being spied on, makes a copy of that tape, runs around town trying to escape these hitmen that are trying to capture him, bumps into Will Smith while Will Smith is shopping for his wife. Jason Lee drops the duplicated film into Will Smith's bag without him knowing. Now that's where the story takes off. Will Smith has no idea that the recorded film is in his bag. Now he's living his life. The FBI slash NASA people have an idea that he might have had that tape because he looked over the camera. So now the NASA people are after Will Smith. Will Smith is confused on what's going on, and he's trying to dodge everything, and relationships are being broken up. Personal relationships with friends are being torn apart. Will Smith is literally trying to understand what is going on, and he thinks what's happening is from a prior case that he was involved with since he's a lawyer. So that's what the story's about, and it's a chase movie, thriller, action. Character Jon Voight, he plays the character Thomas. I would say he did a good job as well as one of the main lead mafia, and he knows about like the politician laws going around, and he knows all the corrupt shit that's happening. The fact that he tried to act like a boss, and then he kept put out orders to make Will Smith's character life terrible, basically. But I like the performance. I like the character development in there with him, meaning that he thought he was the boss, and then later he kind of gets betrayed by his own people, and everything that Will Smith and his wife were dealing with credit cards being declined, he started to deal with it. I like the character development because he's confused as well, and he put that role out there pretty good. Lisa Bonet, she plays the character Rachel in the movie. It wasn't like a performance that stood out. I would say it fit. Nothing that stood out to me. Lines and everything that she did fit, and the story needed her character just to make the story feel bigger. Regina King She actually plays Will Smith's wife in the movie, and her name is Carla Dean. Regina King in this movie, phenomenal job as well. She played a good wife. You can tell the relationship between her and Will Smith was real. They talked with each other, the way they got mad at each other, and Will Smith was trying to come back and be like, baby, I'm sorry, that's not me. And you could feel the vibe of like Will Smith is trying his best to let his wife know, do not read all this fake headline stuff. But Regina King did a good job. She played it really well. I will say added an emphasis to Will Smith's character. Will Smith is so confused. Now he's dealing with his wife, and this dude is literally trying his best to keep his life sane and keep his peace. So Regina King did a good job. Actors that surprised me in the movie and I think did a phenomenal job. Jack Black surprised me. He has some funny roles in here. Jack Black always makes me laugh in his movies with just simple lines. It just, for me, it's just comedy, and he was another comedy character in here. Character fit his role very well. I like the fact he was a low-key, like, undercover. He was just undercover low-key person, and he gathered all the information. But Jack Black did a great job. Hilarious, random role, but I think it was perfect. Another actor that surprised me is Caan, and I didn't know he was the son of James Caan, and very shocked me in this movie to see that, you know, James Caan's son is in this movie. But he did a great job as well, and I gotta see more movies from, you know, Scott. He's Jamie Kennedy, I would say he's a hilarious actor. Seeing Jamie Kennedy in this movie was dope. You know, he's known for Malibu's Most Wanted, but seeing him in this movie was pretty funny as well. He's like the part of the NASA gang and stuff like that. But that was surprising. He did a good job too. So the camera work, the visuals, the acting, and basically the whole setting and the story of this movie was on point. I have nothing bad to say about this movie. I was very intrigued and very excited and just attached to this movie because everything felt real. I really loved the anticipation of knowing what's gonna happen next. I really loved the last scene where Will Smith on the low is making all the mafia people into one room and basically setting them all up. I love that scene. I love how it was set up. Gene Hackman is in the car dressed as a cop, and he's looking at Will Smith make these moves happen through the security cameras. And this movie was so great. Character development was on point. The way the movie was like flowing, on point. There was, I don't want to say any drag. There is a lot of talking in the movie where characters are just talking with each other, but it's like secret type of talking, and it's interesting. It's like being a nosy person knowing what's about to happen. Yo, the lines in the movie, I would say, kept me interested as well. The last mafia scene in the movie, on point. I was like, damn, that's a quick like switch. You see throughout the movie on things you had to pay attention because that last scene makes so much sense. My only nitpick and only bad thing about this movie, and it's not even the craziest thing, is just the editing of the transition scenes when they're trying to be quick, you know. But that's basically his style. It's Tony Scott's style. He likes to do that in movies. After my first time watching it, I'm just very... It's a damn shame that I literally 2 decades and haven't even heard about this movie. After my watch seeing Enemy of the State, my first time, out of 10, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. That's my movie review for the movie Enemy of the State. Shout out to you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace, y'all.